yeah, I'm going to just use some scrap clay and some glass glitter, because that's the main thing. And then this enameling resin, which is a type of UTEE. You can use any of them, either this one or a UTEE. I will put links in the description of the video. So all you need is to flatten your clay, then pour some glass glitter on it. And glass glitter comes in so many colors and so many grain sizes that you can imitate whatever type of druzy you want. So you first place some glitter on your raw clay, and then you take the ice resin enamel. The resin enamel is not an ice. Oh, I love this one better than the UTEE because of that easy pour lid. All you need to be careful about is for the glitter to be fully covered by the powder. And then you place it in the oven, and look at it. It takes about 5 minutes for it to not look like a powder anymore. You don't see any more whites, and all your glitter is in place. You might want to use your heat gun on it just to ensure that everything is set in place. And then if you want a thicker layer of druzy, you just repeat the process. You just place a little bit more glitter on it wherever you want to place it. And yeah, you might make a mess. It's fixable, even with bad hands like mine, because you'll see I'm trying to put it back and then my hands don't do the wrong thing, so I have to pour it back on again. But hey, you know what, everything can be cleaned. And then you just place some more of the powder on top, making sure that you have pretty much all the glitter covered with the powder. And then you place it in the oven again. It usually, as I said, it usually takes about 5 minutes before you don't see any more white. And that means that all the powder has melted. And you can make them as thick as you want, as the druzy layer wants, or thinner. And you can make them any color you want. It all depends on your glitter. And I will make later a couple of tutorials showing you how to manipulate the glitters actually, and how to do a finished piece that would not be a heart. Maybe we'll make a ring or something. I don't know. We'll see. But if you want to make the base that would look more druzy-like, and this, I'm trying to show you something that even a beginner can do. I have translucent clay, then I'm going to use some Lumiere pewter and put on one end, and then I'm going to use a drop of the manzanilla black of pinata inks. And if you don't have this, you can just use, you know, a pinch of silver and a pinch of black clay. And then you just do a Skinner blend with these. It's a good idea to wait until they dry before starting to make the Skinner blend. Of course, I'm not patient, so I just started going. And it's the same thing. You use the Finnabair. I used Finnabair, and again, I will put links. I'm using here a pinch of halo gold and a pinch of blue ink also, because the Finnabair has a bluish tinge, so I want to kind of match the body of the druzy edge. And yes, I will show you also how to do cave geodes in a future tutorial. And then just you don't really need to fully Skinner blend it, because what you want, it's a little bit of crazy random color lines all over the place. So I am getting this back again, and this time I am going to practically flatten it. Yes, yeah, I'm not patient, and I got some Lumiere paint on my finger. Oh well. And then I am flattening it this way. And just as you try to consolidate more, you see I am breaking it apart with my fingers, and then I will place a very little, very thin pieces of white. That would be instead of fractures. You can put a little bit of mica powder if you want, but you know, whatever you like. You can put a bit of acrylic paint to simulate fractures, and then just put your whole plug back together and consolidate it. And as you consolidate it, it will do some kind of deformations the same as it would be in a mokumegane. So, and then decide how thick you want it to be, obviously. And I will be cutting a heart shape and just a random shape. But you see how I have all kinds of veining in there, and it's going to look pretty. So you don't have to do this, as I said, especially if you're going to put your a faux druzy on a backing and in a bezel. You don't really have to worry about how the edges and the back look. If you put it in an open bezel, then yeah, you need to take care how the back looks, and I will show you once again how to do the backing. I've shown you before how to do geode outer layer, the outer part of a geode. And you see I am folding this back together to reform like a plug, and then I will flatten it and then shape it randomly. The thing is that you kind of want, if you have a random shape like this, you kind of want it to be more straightish with some angles. So I'm going to cut, and not just with the blade, I will be using the X-Acto knife as well, because the blade makes too long cuts. So I'm going to just imitate some crystal facets. And again, as I said, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible, so even somebody who just started working with clay can do it. And you do what I'm doing right now, again, only if you want to put your faux druzies in an open back thing. Now, for the geode part, I'm going to use the sponge texture. And see, I used here the medium, but I wasn't very happy about the medium, so I'm going to grab the large sponge because it gives a little bit more deformation, more like the actual geode skin. There we go. And now with some chalk pastels, I'm going to add some gray, some blue, because we get a bluish tinge to the glass glitter. And a little bit of beigeish brown, because that's a color that's very specific to the outer skin of the geode. And then a pinch of black. And then just rub them in with, not forcefully, so I wouldn't distort the texture that's on it. And then lift it. If you need to put more, then just add a little bit more chalk pastel. And I will add, because I don't think I have enough. I'm just lifting the chalk pastels from the raised parts with Scotch tape. And then, see, I don't think I have enough coverage. It doesn't look yet like a real geode skin, so I'm going to use the sponge again, texturing sponge again. You find these on Donna Cato's website, and they are absolutely invaluable. I love them. So I added a little bit more chalk pastel, and again I rub it in and lift with the Scotch tape what's on the raised areas. And then, to be absolutely sure that I did not mess up my texture on the back, because you can. I mean, with so much manipulation and rubbing and all that, you can. The best thing is to just put them on the sponge and then pass with the roller over, and whatever you have cut might have gotten a little bit distorted, so I'm going to cut again, and once I do this, they are ready to place the glass glitter and the resin, the enameling resin. It's actually enameling resin clear, and this is it. Happy claying, and I'll make more tutorials on this.